Access granted.
God, Church.
Perfect.
So hey everyone that might watch this video. I don't know if I'm going to do this for other visual novels. Honestly I should, because if this thing can get a review then by all means why not something like Wonderful Everyday or something. Anyway, this review is basically going to be the equivalent of what Synopsis did for Euphoria. Now this did not break me to that extent, and I read Euphoria and I was totally not affected by that. However, this did make me question why I even downloaded this and read to the end. I'm mentally exhausted. This is actually my second review. I made another, more emotional take on this. This is a review in a more calm state of mind. With that, let's just get this over with. I played this game to completion, doing both routes, and at the end all I feel is a slight cringe and a feeling of wasted potential. It's not as bad as I made it out to be, but in some aspects it is. This is a very confusing visual novel for me, some things I like and some things I really despise to the point of wanting to give up. I guess I'll go the generic route and talk about what I like first. I love the designs of all the characters in this story, one of the main reasons why I started to care for them, which will turn into a negative down the line. The best design being Irene because of the blue color scheme, my favorite color, and her beautiful brown skin, but she as a character was horribly underused. I liked her a lot and really had high hopes for her too. She even had the worst scene in the game. The action scenes are well told and the art that accompanies it is also great to see. The writing, when it's hitting on the themes of religion and world building this corrupt world, are very enjoyable to read even when they repeat things over and over again. The antagonist is interesting. I really fucking hate her though. Her pride and smug face along with her hypocritical view is insufferable. Her goal is selfless but carries an air of selfishness. This is what makes this woman interesting and detestable, at least to me. I like some of the characters which, like I said before, started with their designs but grew with their personality. My favorites being Gloria, Welma, and Allison. I have a soft spot for people that like to fight. Gloria is like the female version of Goku. Welma's search for truth and stoic demeanor resonated with me despite the fact she always gets broken by it in the end. Allison is just a pure angel that deserves the world. So as you might have guessed, my feelings for these characters horribly backfired. Yes, I knew what I was getting myself into, but nothing could prepare for what the visual novel really had in store. Let's get into the bad. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. Everything I'm about to say will probably be deflected by some people by saying should have seen that coming, or it was not made for you, or something or other. Still, despite this, I still think my opinion is valid, and here the answer lays with a question. Why make the reader feel any connection towards the characters when they're going to be brutally raped and tortured? Why have two characters whose sole purpose it is to get raped and tortured? Don't say it's for world building like Goblin Slayer, because that could have and was filled by every other character. For me, I did somewhat see it coming, so I closed my heart to much of it. But then the game has the gall to try to elicit an emotional response from me with those tender moments, especially the true ending. How do you expect me or the audience to feel anything when you beat it out of us with the rape scenes? Why grow with these characters if they are going to just suffer without you being able to stop it? If you can stroke it to a scene then bawl your eyes out in the next, then I have to question your mental state. Why are you crying or caring in those sweet scenes, when you was fine fapping to the same character getting brutally assaulted? Is this somehow a fetish? If so, I think that contradicts one of the messages in the story, which is despite the darkness of the world there is still good, worth something special. This just spits in the face of that message and makes me question once again whether humanity is worth the mud they came from. Now, for those wondering, what about Euphoria? Didn't it do the same thing? And I say in a way, but the thing that makes Euphoria acceptable and this not is the amount and the intensity of the scenes. Euphoria has 55 scenes and only 5 truly terrible scenes, while Maggot Bates has 56 scenes, only 12 scenes were somewhat okay. Emphasize on somewhat, I'm being generous. Overall, Euphoria was more tame and had more reason for their scenes, while Maggot Bates had fat that could have been trimmed. Another difference between the scenes is that in Euphoria, most of the scenes were done by the MC, who by the way is fighting his darker urges throughout the story and does have a heart depending on the player. While in Maggot Baits the girls get mostly raped by the filthy scum of the earth and maggots, who could get off to this. The people that I can see liking the scenes in Maggot Baits are kooks, not quite sane people, and those that like torture, which at least for those I can understand. To prove my case further, I read freaking Emergence, and compared to this, it was not as bad. It did get me to shed a few tears at the end when the girl put her glasses back on and then realized what she had become. Very powerful. When it comes to it disgusting me or breaking me, I feel it was overhyped. Granted, I went into it with a heart closed off. I guess it means a lot when despite that it still got tears out of me in the end. The main difference between Maggot Baits and Emergence is length. If Emergence lasted longer, then yet I might have to give it to Emergence, but it was short, only 7 chapters. The only other things that would beat this that I have not seen is Starless Nymphomaniac's Paradise, Discipline, the Record of the Crusade, and almost anything Black Lilith has made, but come on, you can't expect me to go through those. I'm not that far gone. I rather eradicate those worlds than look upon their depraved form. Anyway, all of this leads into the wasted potential part. To think that all but 3 of these characters don't get a happy ending or even used to their full potential. Their arcs don't need to have a happy ending, but to not even use these great designs or good characters to their full potential is just wasteful. Less rape and more character moments, damn it. I mean, we never explored the strange bond Irene and Gloria had. They interacted only 2 times and one was a rape scene. The fuck? It's like getting dirt all over a beautiful wedding gown and displaying it like that forever, never letting it get worn by someone worthy of its true splendor. Almost all the characters don't get enough time to show off the depths of their personality and connections. There are some moments, but not enough. Despite all of this, I can't truly hate this visual novel. It did get 7 on the list for a reason. The cycle of death and rebirth, the witch powers, the mystery, and production value all were done really well. I even felt something when Gloria died. That was a sad scene. That and everything else placed it high on the list. Right now my feelings for it is reminiscent of Ruby in its current state. Funny, because Gloria actually reminds me of Yang a bit now that I think about it. I'm still somewhat satisfied with the ending as well. This is truly a mixed bag for me. Well, I think I said my piece. Check the synopsis in the description, and if what I said interested you, then pick up the game and try this out for yourself. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I also really like the main character Tsunaga. His power and fierce determination due to his understandable backstory was truly badass. His love of Carol was done well enough. The ending would have hit much harder if the game did not lean so heavily on the rape. Funny considering the creators even considered this a romance story at heart hidden by torture, buddy, I think it was hidden a bit too well. I also liked Valentino and his fight scenes when he screamed hallelujah, great voice actor. And then there is the opening music, good god, that's a headbanger. Anyway, great story with sex or shameless porn, pick one, clock up. To remedy this, maybe make a sequel where all the girls except the ones that survived this nightmare get stuck in a limbo before passing on, where they must face their past selves and accept what has been done. This will give more screen time and characterization to those that lacked it. It will tie up any character plot lines not explored. It can still have sex and rape, just a balance this time, shifting between the two depending on the girls' choices. Okay, I'm done now. I give it a 7.5 mental breaks out of 10. I hope everyone's souls are at peace at least, well except the antagonist, fuck her.